All right, so we're here. Hi, and welcome to not just another episode of the Jupiter Farms Residents podcast. This is our scholarship edition, right? Can you put that in like echoey stuff, David?
Scholarship edition.
That was awesome. No. Thank you. This is now season 3, episode 4. We're at well over 8,000 downloads of the JFR podcast. And I'm Matt. With us today, we have Jillian. Say hello, Jillian.
Hello.
We have Kristen. Say hello, Kristen.
He's still tapped.
We have Tara. Say hello, Tara.
Hi.
And of course, we have our producer and director, David Charles Guggenheim. Say hi, David.
Hello.
But our guests this month, we have Carly, Grace, and Hannah. I didn't tell you to say hello yet. Now you guys can all three say hello.
Hi.
That's awesome. We have 3 of the 5 recipients of the JFR scholarship. So now, welcome guys. This is awesome that you were here. And we're actually going to start deducting points and money from the 2 that didn't show up tonight. So
we're giving it to Carly.
Yeah, we're going to give it to Carly.
No, Grace.
No, I think we're going to put Carly, Hannah, and Grace into like a room and let them fight it out. We could probably raise more money that way. You know,
I think a dance-off is fine, though.
Forget a dance-off is fine. Well, wait a second. A dance-off, I think if we did a dance-off, Grace, I know you're a tap dancer, right?
Yeah, I tapped for a couple years.
I started out as a tap dancer when I was 5 years old. We can
do a really good duet. I think that'd be really good.
Good. Absolutely. Let's do it. So the first thing I just want to go through, and I want to say congratulations, first of all, because we had a fair amount of entries this year. We had like 15 or 1,500 people. No, 15 people auditioning for this scholarship, jumping through the hoops. And it's awesome that you guys, that all 5 of you, 3 of you present here today, rose to the top. I want to go through and talk to each one of you. Carly, I'm going to start with you. Where are you going next year? What are you going to do with this cash, with this big cash prize?
I'll be attending the University of Wisconsin-Madison. So being an out-of-state student, this really helps me. So thank you. I really appreciate it.
All right. I'm gonna let Tara talk to you now because Tara is from Wisconsin.
Yeah, that's where my husband went to college, and all 3 of my daughters live one town over, and that's where he is right now visiting the girls. So yay, you'll love it up there. If you have even the slightest question, then we would be more than happy to tell you anything you want to know if you don't already have people up there.
Thank you. My dad's side of the family is from Madison. So growing up, I would go every year to visit family. So I would go. Cool. I fell in love with it from a young age. So it's my dream school, and I'm so excited that I'll be attending there.
What are you going to be majoring in?
I'm going to be majoring in marketing. I plan on focusing on sports marketing.
On what?
I want to focus on sports marketing.
That sounds awesome.
Matt doesn't know anything about sports.
I don't know anything about sports at all.
I'm a huge sports fan. I love the Badgers, Packers, Brewers, and Bucks, basically all the Wisconsin sports teams. And so I hope to work for one of those teams in the future in like their front office with marketing or event coordination, stuff like that.
That sounds pretty awesome.
Well, call me for any event coordination stuff. That's what I did for 25 years. So more than happy to help on that.
Right.
Don't call me for any of the sportsing at all. I don't sports, but that's awesome. So now I have a question for you. So you're a farms kid, right? Are you doing this to escape? Do you just want out of the farms? You know, this has been 18 years of you being in the farms and you just need to get out. Are you ever going to come back? Do you think that's a possibility?
I don't know. I mean, I do want to change, and I plan on living in Wisconsin after college. But I mean, my family lives here. I'll always be back. I'll always be back in the farms.
So you've been up there for a winter?
Yes. One time I was up there and it was -20.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's I'm looking over your application. It's really sad to see such a low GPA. You must really be sad of your performance there. You're a pretty impressive student, Miss Carly.
Thank you.
So you were also looking at University of Florida, University of Central Florida, but you're like, no, that you knew that Madison was your it school.
Yeah, Wisconsin was my dream school. It still is. So, I mean, UF and UCF were backups, and I'm very grateful that I got accepted into those, and they're great schools, but Wisconsin's my top.
That's awesome. I always think that it's especially here in Florida, it's always a special kind of person that says, I'm going out of state for school, because Florida makes it very attractive financially to stay in state. They want you to stay in state, and kind of escaping from the clutches of Florida is easier said than done in a lot of ways.
Yes.
So that's awesome that you're going to be. Now, I'm reading here that you were part of the Jupiter High talent show. What did you do?
So I'm a part of DECA, which is a business organization, and I was one of the team managers on that project. So I helped coordinate the talent show, and I worked with a team about like 3 other officers. We were project managers, and we coordinated all the acts. We advertised the show. We worked with local businesses for our silent auction, and we basically put on this event for our school.
That's awesome. So you were behind the scenes. You were production.
Yes. Yeah, I was coordinating it.
Awesome. That's great. So when do you leave? When do you say goodbye to Jupiter Farms? And are you getting in a car and driving up there with?
Yeah, we will drive up. I move in end of August, and then my first day is September 8th.
That's great. That's fantastic. So you've got some big major changes coming your way. That's great. And you're excited? Are you scared?
No, I'm excited. Over spring break, we went up again to Wisconsin and visited family and saw the campus again. And so that made it all like real, since that was the first time I was there actually getting accepted. So I'm really excited to be up there.
That's right. So for most of you guys, it was a little different this year with COVID and everything. A lot of people weren't able to do like the school tours that, I'm going to visit all these schools. So you've never been on campus until you were already accepted, and you accepted?
No, I've been on campus, but like that was the first time that I was accepted. So I really cared more at looking at like the residence halls and just like other buildings. Like when I went up in the past, like we usually just went up for football games or hockey games. So I actually paid more attention to the campus and cared more about it.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations. Do we have other questions from the peanut gallery for Carly before we let her off the hook?
Yeah, I have one. Would you send us some snowballs down so we can chuck them at each other when you're up there? I would appreciate it.
Sure. I don't know if they'll stay, but
Like a little frozen box.
Who are you going to chuck snowballs at, Jillian?
You.
Pack them in dry ice.
Make sure there's a couple rocks in them.
okay.
Thank you.
Jillian's from New York. She was a tough girl, so she used to put rocks at the end of in the middle of her snowballs, and then she used to roll them around in a puddle, so they became ice balls with rocks in them. She was don't take any of her advice to heart ever. Ever.
Carly, I'll call you later.
All right.
So let's move on. Hey, Hannah,
Hi.
what's going on?
Not much is going on with you.
Not too much. So I hear you're a pretty good student.
Pretty good, sure.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm looking at, unless you totally lied on this application, which I'm pretty sure you didn't. I'm pretty sure your parents brought up a more wonderful daughter than that. Where are you off to next year?
I'm going to the University of Florida.
University of Florida.
Mhm.
And you are going to be majoring in?
As of right now, the plan is nursing.
What does that mean as of now?
I've
It
changed
sounds like
my
you could be
mind.
lured away very easily.
It started off with doctor, and then it was physician's assistant, and so now it's always been medical. But right now we've been sticking with nursing for a few years now. So
When you say we've been sticking.
why?
Okay. Just
Her other personalities that can't decide.
Just checking. You never know. So what do you? So because I'm looking at, you got a lot of cred. You're an emergency medical responder.
Mhm.
You are a certified electrocardiograph technician. You're certified in CPR. That's no big deal. We all have that. But yeah, I mean, for a whelp of your age, you've got a lot of street cred going on when it comes to the medical. You've got some endorsements. I'm pretty impressed over here.
Yeah, I
Oh,
seriously
well.
fell in love freshman year. So I joined the medical academy at school. So that's where like those classes went into the certifications for, CPR and electrocardiograph and things like that.
That's awesome that you can graduate high school and you've got all of those under your belt. It just shows how much of a slacker I was when I was in high school. So have you been on campus to your school?
I did. Yeah. Over spring break, my best friend and we went around to all the colleges we got accepted into, and we stayed there. That was our like central point. And then from there, we branched off to the different colleges. So I absolutely loved Gainesville. That was my brother also went to UF. So it definitely helped having him kick my butt a little, but I loved Gainesville and we went to go visit. So that was also a big factor.
So this was your first choice school?
I changed my mind a lot, but yeah.
Hannah, you seem to be on the fence for a lot of things.
She's a woman.
I'm not good with
a woman
options.
is allowed to change her mind.
And apparently you can't decide either between like the viola, the piano, the guitar. You play the harp?
Yeah. I picked that up in middle.
Nobody plays the harp.
It's like an upright piano with strings, visible strings. So it wasn't too hard to pick up after piano.
Thank you for explaining to me what a harp is. That's really awesome. No, that's so. What I mean, do you just wake up one day and decide I think I'm going to play the harp? I'm going to dabble in the harp.
I started off with piano. My brother taught me how to play piano when I was little. And then from there, I took music classes in middle school because there was a new teacher who came in. Actually, Grace and I were in that class together. So, yeah, so we were both in this class together. And the teacher was like, all right, so clearly you're pretty good with piano. Like, do you want to split the class? You can do half piano, half harp. And I'll do some lessons with you and we can teach you, because she was also a harpist. So from there, she just kind of branched my music interest to viola and violin and all these different instruments. But it started off.
When was the last time you played the harp?
Oh,
when was the last time you played it?
Probably last year before COVID.
Because it's not really a COVID instrument. If you don't have one at home, you're kind of screwed.
They're at school. So the last time was probably just at school last year.
Yeah, you don't do a lot of marching band when you're a harpist.
Oh, definitely not. That would be a lot of back pain.
be pretty awesome though. Think about it. Think about it. Let me know. So you and I also have a common interest or cause. You were a volunteer for LLS, the Leukemia Lymphoma Foundation Society.
I was through SAM Club. We did Melanoma Foundation fundraisers and Leukemia Lymphoma Foundation fundraisers. So
you're an equal opportunity cancer volunteer. That's awesome. Mm-hmm. That's good. That's you guys are pretty amazing. I mean, I'm looking at all three of you going, I'm so glad I didn't have a daughter, because they just would have totally underperformed in comparison, and I would have been a terrible dad. And it's just a good thing, it's impressive. So you're getting ready to go too. A little nervous, a little scared, or you don't care because you're just such a flip flopper when it comes to commitment.
I promise, once I'm committed, I'm committed.
Atta girl.
It's just getting there.
Exactly.
That's the hard part.
I'm not good with options. Once I make my choice, then I'm set.
How do you go food shopping, Hannah, if you're not good with options?
It's like Jillian picking a paint color.
Oh God. Yeah. I feel you, Hannah. I do.
I'll probably call my mom the first time I go grocery shopping. So
don't even bother. Just order it.
Just get the ramen. But
then there's choices in the restaurant.
Yeah, that's true. You guys all be eating dorm food soon. Although that's changed over time. So I remember dorm food to me was just terrible when I went to undergrad, and it was a lot of starches. There was a whole pile of chicken breasts or something. But now it's like, oh, it's sushi night at the dorm thing, or we're having cracked crabs. It's kind of strange. So anybody else have some questions for Hannah? Apparently Jillian does. She raised her hand.
I do. I'm sticking with my theme tonight. In your medical training, do you have any certification for repairing injuries caused by snowballs with rock?
Oh, caused by I've done some physical therapy training. So
any stitching
No
or
stitching.
wound care?
I not quite with any certifications, no.
Okay. Can you work on that before winter when Carly sends the package?
I think you're
already
actually
on it.
asking her to incriminate herself because at her level, if she did anything of those that you were just asking about, it would probably be a violation of the law.
If she was home and there was an emergency situation, there would be no violation. She would be a good Samaritan.
If she was at home in
bystander.
Jupiter Farm, she's not getting any injury. Nobody's coming with injuries from snowball attacks.
They are.
yeah,
They're
you
being
are.
sent in dry ice.
Yet. Sending them.
Carly hasn't gone to school to send these proposed snowballs yet. I think you guys
I
are
said
really.
this winter. You just wait.
All right, I'll wait. All right.
He's never leaving the house during winter, by the way.
I haven't left the house in a year and a half. Why should I start now? So that's awesome. I mean, best of luck to you, Hannah. You got some pretty amazing. Once you do make up your mind, you do follow through, as evidenced of your 95% aptitude of Oh, tu parles français?
Oui, je parle français.
Okay, we're going to stop now because that's the only thing I remember in Canada that I can ask is, do you speak French? I can't respond. So I could just ask all three of you, tu parles français?
Should I get Bean, mademoiselle?
No. Your dog doesn't speak. Your dog is not French.
She is.
God. This is like therapy. That these podcasts really just degrade into therapy. So Grace.
Hello.
Hi, Grace.
Hi, Grace. How are
I'm
you?
good. How are
Do
you?
we call you Grace? Do we call you Gracie?
I've gone Grace-alicious before. Gracie works.
Bear.
Yep.
That works.
Pretty sure I'm not going to be call you Grace Alicious, but
Gracious.
I can.
The Gracie Bear, he will.
Gracious. Gracie Bear. Gracie Bear's good. Little Gracie Bear. So you guys all three of you, do you know each other? I mean, you guys, did any of you ever have any or do you hate each other and you're just not saying it because you're on Zoom?
Nope, we're all cool.
That's what we should ask.
Nope, we're all good.
They're all cool. But thank God those other two didn't show up because you got an axe to grind with them. Grace, where are you off to next year?
I'm going to Florida State. Go Noles.
Gold nose, gold. Yeah, okay. That's a sports thing. I don't
It doesn't know it.
What are you majoring in?
So right now I'm under exploratory. I'm not exactly sure, but I have a lot of different ideas. But they're all
under
very...
exploratory. We used to just say
Undecided.
Undecided. Now it's under exploratory.
She's on the Hannah plan.
Yeah. Why don't you get some advice from Hannah? That you'll definitely come up to with a way to go, a pathway. Are you leaning toward anything? Because I'm sure your parents, when you say, "Hey, I'm going off to college and I got no clue what I want to be when I grow up."
Yeah, I have a lot of different paths, but they're all very, very different. So that's going to be fun to do. I thought.
Well, let's hear them. What do you think?
So my biggest thing for my future career is that I for sure want to travel. And so I've heard a lot of people say finance and banking, you get to travel a lot. So that's newly one that's on my radar. I'm pretty good at English. So maybe FSU has English media writing and editing. And then I also thought about doing their interior architecture and design, but it's a limited access major. So I'd have to see if I'm actually good at it.
I just think it's great that you arrive at finance because not that you like numbers or you're good at, it's just, I want to travel. And that's a good option. That's really smart thinking.
Do you like any foreign languages?
Have I learned any?
Yeah.
No, I have not.
Oh.
But maybe I'll get there.
Foreign service, you go into the foreign service if you like that.
She wants to make cash. Come on, she wants to make money. Look at these, the numbers that she's got on her SATs and everything else. She's not going into the foreign service. Come on.
I didn't say Greenpeace or anything like that. Amnesty, Peace Corps, the real foreign service. They could get bribes.
Oh, you mean for her to be a diplomat?
Right.
CIA.
Oh,
yeah.
She wants
Grace.
to be CIA.
Yeah.
Gracie Bear, the diplomat. That sounds pretty awesome.
I used to want to be a part of the CIA, but then I learned that you had to learn 2 languages. And I was like, I'm not sure if that's going to work.
Wow.
Grace, you can just take the scholarship money, go to Vegas, let it ride and earn enough money to just go travel with and skip the whole college thing.
That's tempting but risky.
Life is risky, Grace.
You could be like a travel writer, like you could write about all your travel experiences.
I also thought about that under the FSU English. I also had the idea of being a cruise ship director. So maybe I direct my cruise ship during the day, travel, and write my travel blog also during the day.
That's not going to work out. That's not going to work out.
No. Okay.
First of all, nobody's traveling by cruise within like the next, several years.
You got to go to school first, so that could work out. Don't be a naysayer.
Yeah. I'm saying
when she becomes Julie, was it McCoy?
Julie McCoy. So okay, so they're all talking when they were young. Guys, there was a show on television called
But Maddie was already old,
right?
So
they filled in the gaps.
I was already old. I was.
We watched it.
He was born old.
No, it was a terrible show on Saturday nights at like 9:00. And it was a show it was called The Love Boat. And it was just terrible. And Julie McCoy was the cruise director. It was, don't want it. Don't listen to Jillian on this.
Watch it, Grace, so you could see if you want to be Julie.
Yeah.
Today's version of that is on Bravo. It's called Below Deck. In case you guys have ever watched that. That's reality TV.
Are we okay? We're still PG-13 on this podcast. I don't know. Listen. I hear Below Deck, and I'm thinking, and I know you, Kristen, and I'm just like, oh my god, where
does that mean?
It sounds terrible. It sounds like you're trying to corrupt.
It's boating.
I mean,
it's boating. I don't know.
It doesn't sound like boating.
Show.
Doesn't sound like boating to me.
It's a reality show about people who work on private yachts. Not that I've never.
Why isn't it called yachties? That's what they call themselves.
Because they work below deck. They don't own the yachts.
I know yachties are the people who work on the yachts in the yacht business, not the people who own the yachts.
I always thought it was pronounced yacht.
Below deck sounds racier though. So
yeah, below deck is what the producers wanted to go with. So let me ask you. So you guys, all three of you know each other. Hannah, Carly, and Grace. I don't want to Hannah it up a little bit. Do you guys have like a first memory of each other?
Well, I remember I've known Grace for a long time since like elementary school. And I remember Hannah, I remember my mom telling me we did like swim lessons when we were little. So those are like my first memories, just like elementary school.
Aww.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Probably the same. I've known Carly since, I guess, maybe preschool or elementary school. And Hannah, I met in middle school because we did piano and harp together. So probably that.
And now since Carly and Grace answered, Hannah, you basically have nothing to say. They just totally stole your thunder. If you had a harp right now, it would be awesome.
Yeah. We were in orchestra together.
I love that Maddie kind of bragged on nobody playing the harp, and 2 out of 3 of you do. So Carly, pretend you play the harp too. Let's
go to a dream sequence.
I actually played the cello.
Put the sound effects in. You play the cello?
Yeah, we all went to Jupiter Middle, and then Hannah and I were in orchestra together in middle school.
So you're all proof that music improves your brain.
Yes, I've been playing cello since I was 7, so.
I play nothing, so that explains it.
Talk about Jupiter Farms. What was it like growing up here? I remember where I grew up, couldn't wait to get out of there, couldn't wait to get off to college. And then you kind of look back and you go, it's a pretty good place to grow up. I'm kind of glad I did. I don't necessarily want to live there now because things have changed. But what are your views on Jupiter Farms? Let's start with you, Grace.
To start off, just a lot of red ant bites.
Great memories.
Yeah, I think when I was younger, I didn't really like it as much, but it's for sure grown on me a lot more. I like that I have a lot of space, and my dad has tons of fruit trees. So every summer we have like tons of mangoes and lychees and lemons and limes for like our lemonade stand. And so reflecting, I actually really do appreciate it now.
It sounds like she's so old. Yeah, at the ripe old age of 18, I finally come around.
I'm actually 17.
Never contradict the host, Grace.
Oh, my bad.
Always contradict the host, Grace.
Bonus points for contradiction.
Is there a host?
Well, I mean, I'm kind of the host. I'm the ring leader, the ring master.
There you go.
Master now.
Carly, what about you?
Well,
Jupiter Farms.
I went to Jupiter Farms Elementary, and compared to other elementary schools, it's definitely smaller, but I really liked that because like our 5th grade class was like 80 kids, but we got to know everyone. And then that kind of carried into middle school and high school. So like I definitely like there's like a connection where you know all these people. So I really like the community of it, and just growing up, like going to the Easter egg hunts here and then like the Christmas parade. So I just really like the community aspect of the farms.
That's awesome. Let's see what Hannah's going to come up with.
She'll have a little of that and a little of this, and
Hannah's like what they said. Yeah.
Well, I was actually going to talk about the Easter egg hunts and the Christmas parades. That was awesome. But for sure, I also travel a lot. So seeing like different areas and then coming home to all of the green and the big yard space and everything, it was like, growing up, obviously it might have been really easy to like take advantage of it. And it's like, now that I'm thinking back on it, going to like an apartment in college where I can't really like be as free, I definitely loved the space that I had growing up here too.
Good answer. Good answer.
a very good answer.
Survey says.
Was it original enough?
So,
I didn't think you asked
very
too much,
good.
right?
It doesn't sound like you copied off of anybody, so I think it was pretty original. Other questions for our ladies?
I have one for Grace.
Uh-oh.
I just want to know if she's going to help me throw the snowballs.
I think that we can negotiate this happening. I don't really have a
My
great
girl.
arm though, but this can.
That's
I
okay.
have a
We'll
good
have
arm.
volume.
Then I get in trouble.
I have a good arm.
I'll get
So,
you a slingshot.
I want to know between Grace and Hannah, can you get us tickets to the Florida State Gator game every year? I'm a
Who wants student tickets?
That's not corrupt.
Is it? Oh,
We don't need for me. I'm not a sports person, so it makes it easier.
Yeah, I know.
Me and her. Me and the blonde one.
Tara and I were just up. Well, I feel like saying just up there. It wasn't this past Thanksgiving, but the one before. We were at the Florida FSU game up in Gainesville. We drove up there to see it. So
Sounds miserable.
it's fun.
It's awesome.
Sounds like absolutely going with you two up to a sports event.
You're just
Sounds.
jealous.
Yeah, I am. That's exactly what it is. I'm absolutely jealous. What about you, David? You got anything to say? You got to pipe in something?
I find everyone to be very impressive and wish everyone luck and have a lot of fun and do as many internships as you possibly can.
Thank you.
Excellent advice.
Enjoy this time of your life because it just gets harder when you get out of college. College is looking back. You say looking back to when you were younger and you appreciate the farms. I look back to my years in college and I miss them. They were fun. So enjoy it.
And from a different point of view, after college, there's so many opportunities, and it could also go, everything just keeps getting better.
It does. I agree.
I always look at the sunny side. So, and you guys make me feel like the biggest talentless slacker in the world, all three of you with
No, I
your
would never.
talents.
And they know they won board positions, right? In their future, they automatically qualify for board positions.
Yeah,
If
we'll
you
be
guys ever
stepping
come
down.
back to Jupiter Farms, you guys get to be on the board of Jupiter Farms residents, because I know that will thrill you.
It's a
Hannah's
requirement.
not sure.
Reach for the stars, guys. Reach for the stars.
Don't come back.
So I think, if I'm not mistaken, we have probably reached the end of another Jupiter Farms Residents podcast. Presently, we are still, the interior area of the Jupiter Farms Park Pavilion is remaining closed, but I believe that is going to be changing within the next week or two. So keep tabs on that. However, our next Jupiter Farms Residents meeting will still be virtual on June 8th at 7 p.m. The virtual waiting room will open at 6:30. This month, we're going to get our usual updates from PBSO officers and Sir Wicked supervisors, as well as JFEC and JFR. We're also going to be holding elections for our 4 board of directors seats that are open for election this year. So please plan on joining us in the Zoom when it happens. And the informational and virtual link will be posted on our social media the week before, and it'll also be sent out via our newsletter and posted online at jupiterfarmsresidents.com. So there you go. It's a lot of information. Luckily, you get to rewind and listen to these 3 young ladies all over again. So thanks for listening. Be sure to hit the subscribe button so that you'll be notified when a new episode releases. And please share this with your neighbors and friends. Many thanks to our guests, Carly, Grace, and Hannah. And all the best of everything to you guys, sincerely. You guys are amazing. Our thanks to Someone Talked Media and to David Charles Guggenheim for his direction and engineering. And most of all, our thanks to you, our audience, for streaming and listening to the Jupiter Farms Residents podcast. So take care, be safe, and we'll be speaking at you again before long from the farm. So, okay, everybody, say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. Hi. That was a goodbye. Suck.
That was great.
All right, girls, I'll tell you what. Here's
I
the
didn't
thing.
like the class.
I would never.
Don't ever play quarters with peach schnapps.
Yeah. No,
They're all very much underage and should not be drinking for at least another, 3 years? Something like that. Especially you, Grace.
They don't even know what we're
I'm only
talking about.
17
right now.
Grace is like, I'm only
Edit
17.
it out.
This is we're done. We're done.
Grace is telling on us.
Yeah, Grace is gonna go narc. Hey, just here's a list of things that are not happening this month.
Matt, could you add something into the ending of the events thing that David could shove in there in between, please?
What am I shoving in?
That Talking Trash is on break until the fall.
Jillian, are you shaking your head no? What do I got to do?
I thought you were about to say something wrong, but you didn't. So
Awesome. Thanks for the distraction.
the
Talking
end
about
talking.
the meeting.
The meeting.
This month we will. This month we'll. This month
One more
we'll get our
time.
you. Oh, f- you all.
All right.
Wait,
Good
before you
stuff
stop
here.
recording, let me just say shit.
This has been a production of SomeoneTalkedMedia.com.